So this is sort of your introductory lesson. Now, there's going to be a lot more explanation in here. Normally what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the explanations at the end of the lesson. And what this will do is it will allow you to immediately just start the exercise so that you don't have to waste time listening to my introductory talk for each lesson over and over again. Now, the actual ear training will be 30 minutes, and then the introductory talk can be anywhere from a minute to 10, 15, 20. It just depends on what we have to talk about. So I'm just going to say, since this is the first lesson, I would like you to just go through this exercise. If it's very easy, great. You're still getting a benefit, because the way this course is designed is we are going to slowly increase the difficulty. And even at the most basic level, you're still going to be changing the way that you think and hear music. So it's going to open up your ear. The second thing I'll say is, if this is very difficult, you need to do it each day if it's difficult. It's especially important for those of you that are having trouble. You don't worry about it. You just take a relaxed approach. You come back, preferably at the same time the next day, and you complete your 30-minute drills again. And you don't have to think anymore beyond just what we're doing right here in this lesson. Okay, so you don't need to spend extra time. You should start to see a benefit after about the third or the fourth day. The first day, maybe you don't hear anything at all. The second day, maybe you still don't hear anything. By the third day, if you've done it consecutively, on the third day, you should start to notice something subtle changing in the way that you are hearing the exercise. By the seventh day, if you're still working on it, you should notice a dramatic improvement. If this is not the case for you, you might need some additional work. But the important thing is that you apply effort consistently, because that's how you're going to improve. You're not going to improve if you come in on Monday and then come in on Thursday and then come in maybe a week later. It really has to be daily, and it's only a 30-minute commitment. It's really worth it to develop your ear, because once you have these techniques, once you can hear, you really don't forget. And the reason you don't forget, very briefly, is because if you listen to music, if you go out in nature and you hear birdsong, if you hear chimes, if you are running on a treadmill, you're going to hear noises that your brain will naturally start to try and identify. So 30 minutes a day is all you really need, preferably at the beginning of the day or right before you go to sleep. And what happens is your brain will continue to try and put what you've learned in these lessons together in the real world. So that is an important point. So I'm not going to talk more about this, but we'll talk a lot more about the process at the end of lessons, and we will learn a lot more about how all of this works as the course continues. But it is a very long course. It is very progressive. Don't worry about how much time it's taking you. Just come in daily, complete the exercises, and feel happy knowing that you've done your ear training minimum for the day. And I'll talk to you about some additional exercises you can do if you want to, but you don't actually have to. The only way I'd really recommend the additional exercises is if you have a really stubborn ear. So you might want to try these exercises to start opening up your ear so you can hear these sounds. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do, I'm calling pitch immersion. So what happens is you'll see right here, I've notated a C4. That means it's in the 4th octave register. It's right here in the middle of the piano. So what I'd first like you to do is just listen to this C. Just listen to it. Listen to it one more time. Now, take a moment. I'm going to play it one more time. You're going to listen again. I want you to audiate it. Now, audiate means that you try and replicate this sound internally with as much detail and accuracy as you can. So you're really trying to recreate the sound as close as possible in your mind, in your mind's ear. So not singing it. You want to try and do that internally. And just do the best you can. It'll get better as you go. So here, listen. Audiate as much detail as possible. Okay. Now, try and sing the pitch. I'll tell you when. Sing the pitch now and sing C. C. Now, if you were in tune, you shouldn't notice much resistance with that note. If you're out of tune, you'll notice there's a resistance, a buzzing. There'll be something about it that doesn't feel quite. When you're in tune, you resonate. Bum, and everything matches up. So the pitch immersion drill, I'm giving some explanation because it's the first time we're doing this. What you do is you first listen, then I'm going to ask you to audiate, then I'm going to ask you to sing. And after I say sing, I'm going to play the note again. And you're going to see if you got the note wrong or right. If you got it right, great. If you got it wrong, no problem. Try again on the next note that I play. And you're just going to complete this exercise every day. And this is one of the things that you should notice you improve on by about day 3 if you've done it consecutively. We're going to go ahead and go through this. I'm going to show you how this works. So what I want you to realize consciously is if I play this C here, it's C4. If I play this G here, it's G4. And just know that C4 is the middle octave register. It's right in the middle of the piano. G4 is the note right above that. I'm not going to play C3 or G3 just yet. I will play those a little bit later. So for now, let's just try and listen, audiate, and sing a C4 and a G4. We're just going to kind of alternate for now. So listen to the C4. Audiate. Sing. C. I'm not going to sing in the future. I sang that time because I want to be very clear. You need to sing the note C. You need to say C. And if I play a G, you need to play and sing G. Okay, let's do G. Listen. Audiate. Sing. Were you out of tune? If so, no problem. You'll get it the next time. If you sang it correctly, great. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this is so easy, this is ridiculous, this isn't going to help me, I can do this easily. Yeah, a lot of you will be able to do that. But you need to do this anyway, because what we're doing is we are setting the stage for much more advanced techniques, okay? Just trust me, there is a process. Go through it and you'll start to see the results, the real results, the ones that really will get you excited, maybe a month down the line, could be as much as 6 months down the line. But once you start to realize how this is actually helping you, I think you're going to be very excited about this. But all good things take time, right? All right, so I'm not going to tell you the note names anymore. What you're going to do, I'm going to play a note, you're going to listen, then you're going to audiate, and then you're going to sing the note name that you think it is. C, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. So now you're trying to guess whether or not you hear a C or a G. The C for now will always be lower, the G will always be higher. We're going to make it more complicated later, but for now, you got 2 pitches you're listening to. All right, here we go. This is the actual exercise. I won't explain this next time. So listen. Don't try and identify the pitch, just audiate. Sing. C. Did you get it right? If so, great. If not, just keep going. Here's your next pitch. Listen. Audiate. Sing. G. So you want to tell me the note name and sing it before I tell you the note name and play it. Okay? Let's do another one. Listen. Audiate. Sing. C. Listen. Audiate. Sing. C. Listen. Audiate. Sing. G. Listen. Audiate. Sing. C. One more. Listen. Audiate. Sing. G. So in future lessons, we're going to do the bass clef as well. Today, I'm just kind of introducing the technique, so I'm not going to do both. So we're going to go on to the next exercise. This is pitch breakdown. Now, this one is going to be a little bit harder for some of you, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to play two tones at once. And I want you to try and sing the bottom tone and then the top tone. It doesn't matter what level you're at. This is the right exercise, because what we're trying to do is kind of acclimate you to a new style of listening, and there's definite effects to this. So if I play this, you're going to listen for the bottom note and try and sing it. Bum. And then I'll play the bottom note. And you can see if you're right. If you're wrong, no problem. If you're wrong, what happens after I have you sing it is I'll play it again. And you try and listen for that note. And then you try and sing the top note. So I'll play it again. Bum. And then I'll play the note for you. See if you got it right. If you got it wrong, you have another chance to listen. And so what you're listening for is sort of a differentiation between the bottom note and the top note. Some of you, this will be very easy, and that's great. Still complete the exercise. It's not a waste of time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just get into this. It's probably the best way to actually learn this, and you'll figure out how this works as we go. So here's your interval. We're going to break down these pitches. Listen for the bottom note. Sing it. Were you correct? If not, listen again. Try and really make that bottom note stand out. You now know what the bottom pitch is. It's right here. So listen for that sound within this interval. Play it a few times. If you're more advanced, try and make that lower note stand out even more each time I play it. Try and make it so clear that you can never mistake it for any other tone. So now listen for the top tone. Sing it. Did you get it right? If not, listen. So listen for this note. Make it stand out. Okay, now alternate between the bottom and the top tone. You're going to sing the bottom and then the top. You actually don't have to sing it if you don't want to. You can also just listen and try and hear the bottom note. bum, and then I'll play it again. Bum, bum, bum. It's actually more effective if you just listen for this part. So just alternate back and forth. Listen for the bottom, top, bottom, top. Okay, so now I've explained this exercise. We're going to do it a little faster. Sing the bottom tone. Listen for that tone in the chord. Make it stand out. Now sing the top tone. Listen for that tone. Listen again. One more time. Now, sing the bottom tone and then the top tone. We're just going to rotate. Starting with the bottom tone. Here we go. Bottom tone. Top tone. You can also internalize bottom. Top. Bottom. Top. Bottom. And top. Okay. I just want to go over the basic principles. If you forget the instructions, go back to the previous lesson so you can remind yourself. Here we go. Sing the bottom tone. Listen for the bottom tone. Sing the top tone. Listen for the top tone. Sing the bottom tone and then the top tone. We're going to go back and forth. Each time I play it, you sing the note right after I play it, as soon as you can hear it. Here we go. Bottom tone. Top tone. Bottom tone. Now make the top tone stand out. And the bottom tone. Now let's sing the two tones while I play the interval. Bum, top tone. Bum, bottom tone. Bum, top tone. Bum, bottom tone. Bum, top tone. Bum. Okay, so I'm going to approach this in different ways just to keep you active. We're not going to use the same process every single time, but that's effectively how it works. I'll play an interval. You listen for the bottom tone, then I'll play it to see if you got it right. Then you listen for the top tone. I'll play it, see if you got it right. And then we'll alternate between the two. So here, this is interval or chord. So what I want you to do is identify it as C major or C perfect fifth or G major or G perfect fifth. This is sort of like the first exercise we did, but it's a little more complicated because now you're trying to hear, is it a chord or is it an interval? We're just going to start with two chords right now. Well, the C major chord and the G major chord, and then two intervals, the C perfect fifth and the G perfect fifth. All right, so here is your C major chord. Let's listen to the difference. It has a fuller quality. Here's your perfect fifth. It sounds weaker. Stronger. Weaker. So it's important you do identify it as C major, C perfect fifth. I'll only give you about 2 or 3 seconds to give me your answer before I tell you what it is. Our next chord is G. It's just higher. So that would be G major. Here's a perfect fifth. G major, perfect fifth. In the actual course, we'll do both treble and bass clef. For now, we're just sticking to these two chords, and we're only sticking to this octave register for now. And the reason for that is it's easier to identify if I'm not playing a C major chord here and here. Some of you won't be ready for that, some of you will. But you'll still get an effect just by doing it in this simple octave register. Okay? So, here's your C major chord. I'll give you a reference. Perfect fifth, G major chord, and G perfect fifth. All right, here we go. Tell me if it's C major, C perfect fifth, G major, or G perfect fifth. C major. Did you get it before I told you the answer? You need to give me the answer quickly because I only give you a second or two. C perfect fifth. G major. G perfect fifth. C major. C perfect fifth. C major. C major. C perfect fifth. G major. G major. C perfect fifth. C perfect fifth. G perfect fifth. G perfect fifth. C major. C perfect fifth. Okay, so that'll be this exercise. It does get more difficult. We start simple. Our last thing is pitch notation. So I'm giving you the notes that you have to write on the staff, a C4 and a G4. And what you're going to want to do is get some staff paper. I will provide some over at eardrills.com, not ear drill, but eardrills.com. So you can download that and print it if you want, or you can get a book of staff paper. What we're going to be doing in the actual course is you're going to have several melodic dictations that don't have any rhythm at all. So this is a whole note. It means typically you hold it for 4 beats. So if I have a beat as a steady pulse, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I would hold a C for 4 beats if it's a whole note. So I might say, I'm going to give you 4 beats and I'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4. C off. So that would be a full 4 beats. So what you're going to be doing is I'll tell you how many measure numbers there are, and I'll tell you the clef. And you can kind of copy this clef. Just try and get it to the best of your ability. And you will write either this note or this note on your staff paper. Now, this isn't really a notation course, but we're going to do some notation because it's very important. One of the things that you need to do to develop your ear is you need to take what you're hearing and you need to write it down. You have to make it physical as well as mental. So we need all different types of approaches. And there's other exercises too. The course is not just these 4 exercises, but we're going to start with these 4 until you're really comfortable, and then we'll add more exercises. So what we're going to do is I want you to write 4 measures. So that means you're going to have 4 bar lines. So it'll look something like this. So you have 1. This is the first measure. Here's the second measure. This will be the third measure. And this will be your 4th measure. And so you're only going to write the notes C or G. Right here, I've given them for you so you can see them. So this particular, the first one will start on C. And this is kind of cool. If you've never done this before, you are now notating music at this point. So your first lesson, you're already notating something. So here's your C, here's your G. Best way to figure out how this works is just to do it with you. So I'm going to show you an example. So here we go. I'll give you 4 beats and then I'll play 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll give you about 5 seconds after that. You can pause the video and spend as much time as you need. Try and mentally hear it, memorize the melody. You don't want to just notate it right away. You want to memorize it. We want to increase your musical memory. One of the ways you're going to get better at hearing intervals is by increasing the amount of pitch data you can keep in your mind. So you play it back. Bum, 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 Always sing or audiate. Either one's fine before you notate it. And then you go in and you notate it. So go ahead, pause the video, and notate what you think the answer is, and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, you get your answer? So your next note is a G. So you would just write a G right there. Try and make it right in between the lines. It's kind of hard for me to do it with this. Measure 3 was also a G. Measure 4, you got to make sure you have this ledger line, because what we're doing is we're extending these 5 lines down so that you can write in your C. Okay? That's your answer. If you got it right, great. So now let's go on and do one more. So we're going to create another 4 measures. This one's going to start on G4. So this time I'm going to play it twice. I'm going to play the first time, and then I'm going to give you the amount of time I play it. I'm going to give you that much time to audiate it, and then you should pause the recording during that time and try and notate it. And then you're going to come back and you're going to hear me play it again. That's your second time. You're going to audiate it again. Then you're going to pause the recording and make sure that it's correct. So fix any mistakes if you need to. So here we go. There's your G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Audiate in as much detail as possible. Pause the recording so you can audiate. Okay, I'm going to play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Audiate again, even if you know you got this right, and this is so simple for you. Audiate. Pause the recording if you need to. Okay, now I'm going to notate it for you. This is what you should have. And we'll do 4 of these each time that we meet. So they'll be of different lengths. Sometimes there'll be 4 measures. As we become a little bit more advanced, we're going to do 6 measures and 8 measures. And the idea here is that you always audiate, because you have to take these sounds internally. It won't work if you don't. And then you also have to notate it. But you don't want to notate it right away. You want to memorize the melody first, if you can. If you can't, just try and memorize the first 2 notes. And then when I play it again, try and get the next 2 notes. You know, you can kind of work up your memory to the point where you can really start to memorize these things quite effectively. You're done for today, okay? And I'm going to guide you through this entire course. It's going to be a very extensive course. It's going to be very slow, and it's going to be very easy. That's the goal. It should be easy. And I don't care how great your ear is, if you can already hear all the intervals, doesn't matter, because this course is attacking ear training on multiple different levels. It's developing your inner ear, it's developing your ability to notate music, it's developing your ability to hear inside chords. It's working on so many different aspects of ear training, and you're going to find the benefits are worth it. So think of this as your daily practice routine. When you learn an instrument, you don't just stop once you can play. If you're a trumpet player, as an example, they have this book called Arbans, right? The conservatory method. You don't just stop learning Arbans and say, I know everything there is to know about the trumpet. You keep going. So you practice new pieces, you learn new techniques, you try and improve your tone, you do all these things. The ear is the same way. But the nice thing about the ear is we're only going to do about 30 minutes a day. Now, if you're having trouble, then what I recommend you do is mirror exercise number 1. You can just sing through mirror exercise number 1. You can also sing through the daily routine. If you want a complete singing-based approach, I have other courses which at the end of this video you're going to see them pop up. My recommended extra training. But do not do this again today. You only get 1 time per day. That's very important because your brain needs to saturate. If you keep doing it, you're going to make mistakes, and we do not want to make mistakes. Okay? So that's it for today, and I will see you next time.